You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nubs. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on report from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still life of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he has been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of Harry armed women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Keys, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.
Deputy Chairman of the state of Illinois, Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton. And a lot of people don't understand the Black Panther Party's relationship with white mother country radicals. A lot of people don't even understand that word that Elvis uses a lot. But what we're saying is that there are white people in the mother country that are for the same type of things that we are for stimulating revolution in the mother country. And we've said that we'll work with anybody and form coalition with anybody that has revolution on their mind. We're not a racist organization because we understand that racism is an excuse used for capitalism. And we know that racism is a byproduct of capitalism. Everything would be all right if everything was put that has revolution on their mind. We're not a racist organization because we understand that racism is an excuse used for capitalism. And we know that racism is a byproduct of capitalism. Everything would be all right if everything was put back in the hands of the people. And we're going to have to put it back in the hands of the people. Everybody in the state of Illinois is going to have to be involved or even around the revolution because we're going to have one. We're going to have to do more than talk. We're going to have to do more than listen. We're going to even have to do more than learn. We're going to have to start practicing, and that's very hard. We're going to have to start learning, and you learn through practice. We got to start making mistakes, and you learn through making mistakes. We got to start getting out there with the people. And a lot of times we think we're better than the people, but that's an insult and that's criminal. Think you're better than the people. But we got to get together and learn where it's at. It's going to take a lot of hard work. Education for children is something else. You ought to dig on it. Every sister in this audience. Now, every sister in this audience ought to get themselves together and come on down and help us with that Breakfast for Children program. Y'all here come down and here feed them children in the morning. We have breakfast for children because we teach the people through practice, through observation and participation, that people can be fed free. That's people thing. Socialism is the people. You're afraid of yourself. If you're afraid of socialism, you're afraid of yourself. We know they have our pictures. We know they're looking for us. We know they want us. But we're still saying that even though we could be in a sense, as far as this system goes, on the mountaintop, we in the Black Panther Party, because of our dedication and understanding what's in the valley, knowing that the people in the valley, knowing that we originally came from the valley, knowing that our flag is the same flag as the people in the valley, knowing that our enemy is on the mountaintop, our friends are in the valley, we say even though it's nice to be on the mountaintop, we're going back to the valley. I be in the office every day. I be in the streets propagandizing every day. I be working with everybody every day. I be teaching that solidarity is the thing. The end of a complete wipeout of imperialism is the thing. So if you're going to be thinking about me, that's what Bobby would be teaching. If you're going to be thinking about us, all we say is ain't no thing about going nowhere, getting killed. All we want to know is that you're doing what we'd be doing if we were here. And you got to do that. You can't do it unless you believe that you can do it. In the spirit of liberation, we understand that they want everybody in the party in jail. And we know that if we try to figure out and separate and divide who should go and who shouldn't go, we spend more time doing that than working for the people. So the quick solution, the speedy one, nobody goes. Nobody goes. We all stay right here. With the people. Because we love the people. Okay, you can put your hands down now. We say all power to all people. We say white power to white people. Brown power to brown people. Yellow power to yellow people. Black power to black people. X power to those that we left out. We say Panther power to the Vanguard Party. When you leave here saying the last word, before you go to bed tonight, say I am a revolutionary. Make that the last word. In case you don't wake up, then somebody might believe it and you might, end up in what they call a revolutionary happy hunting ground. Say that. I am a revolutionary. Say it when you're going out. Everybody on the people leave. Okay, we're going to say it while we're going out. Hey, we're going to start a thing called Free Fred. Don't that sound nice? Hey, let's do that. Free Fred. Free Fred. Free Fred. Free Fred. Hey, I ain't even in jail yet.
All right. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning and welcome to Free Breakfast. I'm your host today. My name is Gary Johnson III. I am an award-winning entrepreneur. I am a business professor. I am an author. I am an innovator. I am a nonprofit leader. I am a mentor, a startup advisor. I am an investor, and I am a revolutionary. Today, we're kicking off the first session of Free Breakfast, which is a radical introduction to entrepreneurship. So this is where every week I will be going live with you all to teach the people a little bit about business, a little bit about entrepreneurship and how to get started. And I want it to be more accessible than how I've provided it in the past. So I'll tell you a little bit about my backstory, and then over time, hopefully, we can build a relationship, build a community of people coming together, supporting each other, helping each other get our ideas out of our heads into the real world and solving real problems in our communities. Now, I get my entrepreneurial gene from my mother, who has been a hustler her whole life. She just knows how to solve problems. She knows how to come up with ideas to make something happen, to provide for her family, to put food on the table, and to live the life that she wants to live. And it wasn't until I got to college that I actually learned what entrepreneurship really was. The fact that there is a process, the fact that there essentially is a science to starting a business, to testing your ideas, experimenting, and solving real problems. Now, I went to University of Delaware for undergrad. And when I got there, I learned about all of these amazing resources that the university had to support student entrepreneurs. The resources included space, where you could go and be creative. You had access to all the whiteboards and markers and the computers. And even better than that, people, experts, entrepreneurs who had gone out into the world and been successful in a lot of different ways. And they came back to the university to provide their expertise, their knowledge, to help the young people sort of avoid some of the pitfalls that they may have been victim to in their journeys in business, but to also be supportive, to lift as they were continuing to climb. And I got a lot out of that program. But what I realized was that I was getting a lot of resources. I was getting a lot of access to opportunities, in addition to funding to test these ideas that were coming to my brain. And as someone who was doing work in the community in Wilmington, Delaware at the time, I saw an opportunity to provide the same type of entrepreneurial education to the people, to a lot of young men who were in the community who needed avenues like entrepreneurship to, one, just get their ideas out into the world, but also to be this sort of extracurricular activity that challenged their mindsets, that connected them with mentors in the community who identified with them and could actually serve as mentors long term in their lives. So this picture that you see on the screen right now is actually my first time putting together an opportunity for young men in the community to pitch their entrepreneurial ideas to local entrepreneurs and investors who came from Wilmington, Delaware, and had gone on to do incredible things. So shout out to the amazing people who came out to serve as judges. We had Pedro Moore, who served as an investment advisor to Damon John on Shark Tank. We had Earl Cooper, who is a co-founder of Eastside Golf. And these guys were doing incredible work in the community. And I wanted young men to see that they could do the same thing. They could be successful, and they could find their place in this business world. So we actually were able to fundraise and make sure that not only did the young men have a platform to share their ideas with the community, but they had an opportunity to win funding, startup funding for their ideas. And we had a grand prize of $1,000 that we were able to raise from a couple of different partners, but one being my alma mater. And as you can see, we gave away some big checks. So this was my dream, was creating a platform where young men of color could be celebrated and could see that people believed in their potential and their ideas and their dreams. So that was how I got my start in this entrepreneurial ecosystem. And I've come a long way since, and I continue to support both young people and adults. I have not been supporting young people as much as I would like to. So this is sort of my jumping back in and creating more accessible opportunities where we are currently live streaming across various platforms. So anyone who wants to tune in can get access to this knowledge and wisdom that I'm ready to drop on your noggin. And I've very much been inspired by the Black Panther Party's free breakfast for school children program, where they saw an opportunity, they saw a problem in the community, and they didn't just complain about it, they did something about it, right? And they provided the means for the community to be fed, to be nourished, so that these young people could go out into the world and study and learn and make their own contribution. So with free breakfast here on this live stream, the children are you, the children are me, the children is us. When it comes to studying entrepreneurship, it's about challenging your mind to actually think like a child, to go back to that place where you were incredibly creative and you weren't worried about other people judging your ideas, judging your potential, or feeling like you weren't good enough or you didn't belong. So the children includes all of us when it comes to free breakfast. Now, what's the correlation between Black Panther Party and entrepreneurship? Well, in my view, entrepreneurship is radical. As someone who has a master's in entrepreneurship, I can tell you for a fact, entrepreneurs do not like to play by the rules. Entrepreneurs are people who are dissatisfied with the status quo. They see how the world works today and they say that is not good enough. It either is not good enough for me, it is not good enough for my community, or it is not good enough for people that I care about. And again, rather than sitting back and complaining about those problems, entrepreneurs see those problems as opportunities to jump in, create a solution that they can potentially profit from and make a difference in however they choose to. Now, the free breakfast program for children is absolutely an example of entrepreneurship. But when it comes to traditional study of entrepreneurship, we don't hear examples of the Black Panthers. We don't even see a lot of examples of Black entrepreneurs who are doing incredible work in their communities every day to solve real problems, support their communities, and make a difference while also making money. So with this free breakfast program that I'll be hosting, I plan on giving you all some more examples of incredible Black entrepreneurs in our communities who are doing the thing. So hopefully their stories inspire you, because I continue to be inspired. And together we can learn from each other. You can take those lessons, you can apply them to your own entrepreneurial journey, and together we will go further as a community. So what I want you to remember along this journey is that entrepreneurship is revolutionary, and the revolution begins in your mind. You first have to change your mind. You first have to decide that you want to be an entrepreneur. You have to decide and believe that you can be successful in this space. And I guarantee you that once you change your mindset, amazing things will happen. Now, the biggest job of an entrepreneur, the black job, if you will, when it comes to entrepreneurship, is solving problems. So what I'll do first is I want to play a song for y'all to get you a little, energized, and then we will dive in to actually understanding what types of problems do entrepreneurs solve, and what are some examples of entrepreneurs solving these problems in the real world. All right, so let's get into it a little bit. My bad, y'all. Y'all probably can't even hear it. Y'all gotta let me know in the chat. If you can't hear the song, you gotta let me know. You gotta let me know. Free breakfast is a little bit of a party. So if you don't know, you about to learn very quickly. So bear with me. Bear with me. We'll be right back. We talk to the producers. Producers, what's going on? What's going on in the background? We need Beyonce. We need Beyonce. We need Beyonce. All right, let's go. All right, producers are working on it, y'all. They're working on getting us Beyonce. But in time, we're going to get back to the lecture. We're going to get right back into it. America has a problem, y'all. America has a problem. And entrepreneurs are here to solve those problems. So let's go to our presentation and talk about the problems. Here we go. So there are a lot of problems that exist in the world, right? Entrepreneurs, again, see problems as opportunities and they create solutions to make the world a better place. A few problems that I care about and that my friends care about are economic problems. They are problems that relate to supporting entrepreneurs in our community. All right. So, what are the problems that entrepreneurs have themselves? And we can see that according to the Brookings Institute, between 2019 and 2022, the racial wealth gap increased by $49,950, adding up to a total difference of $240,120 in wealth between the median white household and the median black household. So that's a problem. That is a problem. The racial wealth gap is a problem. We want equity, we want equality, we want inclusion. We talk about these things, but when we look at the statistics, we can see that the gaps are widening between communities, right? And if we truly want America to be a place where the American dream can be fulfilled, everyday people need to have access to wealth building opportunities, right? And wealth comes in the form of ownership in a variety of different ways. For me, I'm passionate about business ownership, right? And using entrepreneurship as a way to build wealth in our communities. Now, building a business requires resources. It often takes money to make money, right? And if you come from a community where you are not in close proximity to people who have the resources and means to help you turn your ideas into a reality, to grow your startup, to scale it with access to capital, then you got a problem. And in the entrepreneurial world, one of the most I would say, popular in a lot of people's minds. The most popular way to finance or fund your business is through venture capital. Now, don't get me wrong, venture capital is not for every type of business. Most likely, if you are watching this, listening to this, venture capital is not for you. All right. But when it comes to building a technology based business, a business that can grow and scale and meet the needs of people all across the country and potentially all around the world, oftentimes venture capital is the vehicle that is used to fund the growth of those businesses. Now, again, there's a problem when we look at where venture capital goes in this country. So there's another publication. It's called Crunchbase. Crunchbase puts out a lot of technology related news, a lot of entrepreneurship related news. So anything going on in the startup space that revolves technology based businesses or venture capital funding, Crunchbase is reporting on those things on the news in addition to the data. So recently, Crunchbase put out some more data telling us that in 2021, Black founded startups received 1.4% of all US venture funding. And then in the following year, in 2022, it was 1.1%. So the amount of venture capital funding going to Black founded startups is decreasing. And a decrease of something that's not even at 2% is abysmal. It's very bad. It's very bad. It's shameful, actually. And even when we look at the greater ecosystem, the larger economy, we see that venture capital funding going to all startups hit a bit of a decline, right? So regardless if you were Black, white, funding decreased. It's harder to raise venture capital funding given the market conditions. But what Crunchbase data tells us is that the decline in capital to Black founded companies greatly outpaces the overall decline in startup funding. So again, a gap, an access to capital gap, a disproportionate gap that is continuing to grow. So they tell us that while total venture dollars, venture capital funding in the United States fell 37% in 2022, funding to Black founded startups dropped a staggering 71%. A disparity, a problem. All right. And I work in this space, so I'm incredibly passionate about solving this problem, not alone, but collectively. It's not going to take one person to solve this problem. It's going to take community. It's going to take all of us, whether you're Black or not, to recognize these disparities, to call them out, and ideally to do something about it. So one of my friends in this venture capital space is a gentleman by the name of Paul Judge, who's a trailblazer, an innovator, successful entrepreneur himself, but also a revolutionary venture capitalist. And Crunchbase interviewed him about this data and this problem that America has. And he said that when one considers 13% of the US population is Black and more than $140 billion in venture capital was involved in the US last year, it should be reasonable to expect Black funding numbers to be around 18 billion. So the number should be $18 billion going to Black founded startups. But what it actually was less than 1 billion in a year. And Mr. Judge said that means that we have about a $17 billion problem. It's a pretty big problem to have. And again, we can either complain about the problem or we can do something about it. And to me, the solution involves not only having more investors that look like us, because we understand the plight of the Black entrepreneur, we understand the problems that they are attempting to solve, but also we need more Black entrepreneurs. We need Black entrepreneurs who are building incredible businesses, whether they are local small businesses or highly scalable technology startups. We need everything. And we need people to come together. We need people to pool their resources and become investors to fund the growth of these businesses, because we can't rely on a system that is clearly not working for Black entrepreneurs. Now, something else to keep in mind, it's very important, is that entrepreneurship is about wealth building. It is about wealth creation, but it's not strictly about making money. It's not a purely capitalistic endeavor. Entrepreneurship at its heart is about solving problems. It is about taking your God-given creativity, putting it to good use, making a difference in the world. Now, if you can figure out how to monetize that creativity, how to monetize the solutions that you're able to develop, you can not only live the life that you want to live on your own terms, but you can empower others. You can empower people older than you, people younger than you, the next generation, to blaze their own path and to find opportunities to build wealth for themselves as well. All right. And for me, I know that we as a people, we as human beings are involved in an eternal struggle. And entrepreneurship, the journey of being an entrepreneur, provides a means for self-determination. When you shift your mindset from being a cog in a wheel to being a part of a machine, to actually switching from being a consumer to a producer, that's when you have ownership over your own life. And the journey of being an entrepreneur is incredibly fulfilling, because every single day you're able to wake up and know that you are designing your own life. You are making choices that will take you to the future that you envision in your own mind. Oftentimes, when we talk about entrepreneurship and we teach entrepreneurship, we talk about disruptive companies and innovative ventures that are founded by people that look like Elon Musk, people that look like Jeff Bezos, right? And not just look like them, but the examples given, companies like Amazon, companies like Uber, companies that have seen great success in terms of growth and scale, in terms of financial outcomes. But these ventures oftentimes absolutely exploit people at some point in their supply chain, in their value chain, and that's not okay. Entrepreneurs absolutely exploit opportunities, but they should never exploit people. And I believe that we need to give more examples of a diverse array of entrepreneurs who are showing that you can build a successful business without exploiting the people. Another key trait that entrepreneurs have, in addition to being problem solvers and being owners in their own lives and of their own destinies, is being fearless. Entrepreneurs are fearless. And one of the fastest growing groups of entrepreneurs in the country is Black women. Black women are starting new businesses at a pace that outpaces any other demographic. And there's a problem that they face. Although they are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in America, they are the least likely to receive the funding necessary to grow their enterprises. All right. So again, it takes money to make money. So when you have a promising entrepreneur, the community's job is to provide resources and opportunities to help them grow and scale. They have the same potential as anyone else. And what the data actually tells us is that when they are successful, they actually make our communities better. All right. They create better paying jobs. They treat people more fairly. And when they win, we all win, whether you're Black or not, whether you're a woman or not. So the truth is, Black women deserve better. Black women entrepreneurs deserve better in this startup space. And if you are paying attention to the news, you may have seen something going on where there is a venture capital fund that is founded by Black women that primarily supports women of color. And the venture capital fund, or the firm, is called the Fearless Fund. And the Fearless Fund not only has a venture capital arm where they invest millions of dollars into women of color every single year, but they also have a nonprofit arm where they provide grant funding, non-dilutive capital to women of color entrepreneurs. So if a woman is building a technology startup that is growing and scaling and needs additional resources to grow, the Fearless Fund Venture Capital Fund could make an investment to help them grow and scale and meet the needs of more people. Now, if the woman of color entrepreneur is sort of just starting out, they're still figuring things out in regards to their business model and their target audience and their product or service offering, Fearless Fund hosts things like pitch competitions, which is very similar to like a Shark Tank, where you get to stand up in front of some judges, present your idea, present your business, and potentially win grant funding, which you do not have to provide an exchange of equity or ownership in your business. So Fearless Fund has grants such as, like, the picture you see here is a $10,000 grant being awarded to a woman of color entrepreneur, right? So Fearless Fund identified a problem in the world where these women of color are starting businesses at an increasingly high rate. And the data is telling everyone that those same entrepreneurs are not getting the access to capital they need to sustain their businesses and to grow them. So the Fearless Fund says, we identify that problem and we want to do something about it. And what they do about it is creating their own platform, creating their own vehicle to fund the entrepreneurs in their community. Beautiful, in my view. Now, not everyone sees that as beneficial to the community. Very recently, the Fearless Fund was taken legal action against, and there is a man / a movement that is working very hard to tear this work down. There are people in the world who believe that when Black people solve problems for Black people and people of color, that is reverse discrimination. Somehow these solutions that are designed to combat racism, to them, are racist themselves. So there's a lawsuit that is challenging the Fearless Fund and has stopped them from continuing to make these small grants to women of color entrepreneurs. So even though we have the data, we have the statistics to tell us that Black women entrepreneurs, Black entrepreneurs in general, are receiving crumbs when it comes to venture capital. And part of that reason is because there are not people that look like us managing venture capital funds. You have someone creating a solution, trying to do something about it, but others not liking the fact that essentially these Black women entrepreneurs infiltrated a system that they did not design themselves, but remixed it, recreated it to serve their own community. So this is what entrepreneurs look like. They look like the founders of the Fearless Fund. They look like the women of color who are starting businesses, who are receiving grants, who are receiving venture capital as well. And what it takes to keep going is to be fearless. And even though there are a few setbacks in this ecosystem currently, we all have to be fearless. We all have to step up and do our part. We have to advocate for one another, and we have to design the system that we believe will benefit ourselves. And this lawsuit hits home for me because, as I told you not too long ago, my start in this entrepreneurial support ecosystem came from me providing small dollar grants to young men of color in my community. So when I see the news of the Fearless Fund being attacked, it's not just an attack on the Fearless Fund. It's an attack on people like me as well. There are a bunch of people in our communities who create opportunities to fund the businesses, to fund the innovators, to fund the high potential talent in our communities. And this is why it's incredibly important to vote, because there is an opportunity for funding to be allocated to underserved, underrepresented communities. And when the right people are in the right positions, that can be codified into law, right? So that people who see this as reverse discrimination are not able to take action and stop our progress. So we have to be fearless. We have to advocate for ourselves, and we have to vote. So make sure you scan this QR code to register to vote if you have not already registered to vote. If you are not sure if you're registered to vote, please also scan the QR code, because you can check your registration. All right. And if you are already registered, share the link with someone else. All right. We are in an election year. It is not just about voting for a president. We vote for judges. We vote locally. All right. It's about participating and making a difference. So the vote is one way. Entrepreneurship is another. So if you believe that entrepreneurship and politics are separate, they are absolutely not. There are things that you may want to do in business that may not be possible because someone else wants to write the rules so that you cannot serve the community that you want to serve. So please, everyone, get involved. Advocate for yourself, advocate for your community, and together we'll all make a difference. Now, there are a lot of incredibly successful Black people in this startup ecosystem that you may have never heard of. And through Free Breakfast, I plan on highlighting more of them over time. We'll spend about an hour together each week. So this is just a high-level introduction. But a good friend of mine and a hero and a revolutionary in the venture capital space is a gentleman by the name of Mac Conwell. And Mac is a venture capitalist with his own venture capital firm that he started from scratch. And his firm is called Rare Breed Ventures. Now, Mac put out a tweet last month that really spoke to me. And what he said was, just a reminder, when founders say their company is focused on the Black community, it doesn't mean that their TAM, or their total addressable market, is small, or that it only works for the Black community. So what Mac is highlighting here is this misconception that when you have a Black entrepreneur deciding to employ themselves in their own Black job and launch their own startup, if that startup is serving the Black community primarily, or to start, it doesn't mean that it only serves the Black community, right? Their total addressable market can be so much larger, and oftentimes is so much larger than the Black community, but they start with the community that they are from, in some cases, not all cases. But just because a Black entrepreneur has a business does not mean that they only sell to Black people. Now, personally, what I believe is that when entrepreneurs of any kind, of any background, are able to understand Black culture and serve Black culture, this creates a really great opportunity for differentiation and for growth. Because if you are able to serve the most influential community in the world, Black culture influences the entire world, you've hit on something. There's something there to lean into. There's something there to collaborate with. Again, not take advantage of, not exploit, but to leverage. So serving Black people, serving the Black community is in no way going to provide a roadblock to your growth. So shout out to Mac. Hopefully we can get Mac on a free breakfast and he can speak to the people about what he's got going on. He may have some access to funding or access to opportunities that may be of interest to some of the entrepreneurs in our community. But I had to include the Kendrick quote. What is it? The braids? Because really, what is it? What is it? Because Black entrepreneurs are disruptors. We are innovators. We are doing incredible things every single day. But for some reason, we face discrimination. We face roadblocks. We face racism. And it might be the braids. Maybe the braids are seen as threatening. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But we have to do better. We have to do better, people. All right. I want to show you one more video because this video is like super cool to me. I am a member of a trailblazing organization called the Black Innovation Alliance. And the Black Innovation Alliance is essentially this conglomerate, if you will, of innovator support organizations all across the United States and even all around the world. And we have come together to build the entrepreneurial ecosystem that we know we deserve. And the Black Innovation Alliance is revolutionary. It is and has been transformative for me as an innovator support organization founder to come in and to meet people from all around the world who are doing similar work as me in different communities. And until discovering this organization, I did not know that there were other people like me just trying to make this thing happen, just trying to serve the people, and also facing similar challenges of struggling to get access to capital for our own organization, struggling to get access to capital to fund the innovators in our communities that we've been able to support through mentorship, through coaching, through educational programs, through building our own accelerators. And together, we're able to pool our resources. Together, we're able to go to larger funders as a collective and leverage the fact that we are stronger together. And when those funders, whether they are banks, whether they are foundations, pools of capital, when they fund the Black Innovation Alliance is able to galvanize its membership and help fund our organizations as members. So it's a really cool model. It's a great example of what is possible when we combine resources, when we, you know, organize ourselves, advocate for ourselves, and continue to press forward in a collaborative fashion. So I want to show this video because it was just super cool. They put it out, and obviously this picture is of me, but I want to show you the full context because this is who we are. So bear with me here as I play this video for y'all. I hope you like it because I love it. And I was surprised that it came out. I didn't, they didn't tell me they were going to put this out or anything, but it's pretty cool. So the Black Innovation Alliance has declared this current decade the decade of Black innovation. I want to show you what Black innovation really looks like. You may not be able to hear it, but it's got drums. It's poetic. So this is who we are. Innovation is in our DNA. It is up to us to blaze the path. It's up to us to create the solutions, to solve the problems in our communities, and most importantly, to come together to have this collective impact. It is not about a single person, it's not about a single hero in a story. It is about cooperative economics, it is about collective work, it is about lifting as we climb. There is so much further to go. We talked about statistics today. In future free breakfast sessions, I'm going to be breaking down for you all the fundamentals of building a business. So, as a reminder, I am an adjunct professor. I do have a master's in entrepreneurship. So, I study this, I teach this, I live this. In no way do I claim to be the expert entrepreneur in the world, but I've studied examples and I practice a lot. I am the founder and CEO of a couple of different ventures, but one being an e-commerce brand by the name of BVP Coffee Co. that just so happens to be the sponsor of today's free breakfast. And I want to make sure you all are aware that if you visit our site, www.bvp.coffee, we have a variety of products for sale. Each sale does benefit student scholarships, primarily historically Black colleges and universities. And if you visit our site, you can see that we've got specialty coffee that is roasted to order. So if you're currently getting your coffee from the grocery store, from Target, the gas station, I can guarantee you our coffee is more fresh because when you visit our site and you place an order, the coffee will be roasted in 1 or 2 days and shipped out to you the same day that it is roasted. Now, we have a variety of different types of coffees: light roast, medium roast, dark roast. So pick your preference. If coffee is not your thing, we do have tea, artisan tea. But we like to teach Black history with our products as well. So we collaborate with organizations such as the Howard University men's basketball team, where they are using our coffee products as a fundraiser to invest in their program, both on and off the court. So not only are they D1 athletes, but they do great work in the community, such as advocating for Black maternal health, for supporting other local nonprofits in the DC area. So when you visit our site, you can check out their story. If you do want to support the Howard University men's basketball team, make sure that you use the code HU Men's BB, where you will get 10% off on your order. And you can order any of these products that you see here. We've got a Mecca Mocha that is fantastic. We've got a Bison Breakfast Blend, which is my personal favorite. We've got coffee pods. We've got merch, apparel for you all to represent the bison. All right. Now, if the bison aren't your speed, that's okay. We've got coffee that celebrates hip hop history. Our 1993 celebrates a Tribe Called Quest. 1989 celebrates Me, Myself, and I by De La Soul, one of my favorite songs ever. We've got Black Greek coffee gifts. So if you are a member of, let's say, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and you and your sorority sisters want to do a coffee fundraiser within your chapter or your organization, you can use the 1908 coffee to fundraise. We have an affiliate program that you can sign up for directly on this website. And we really want to use this coffee as a means to introduce our community to entrepreneurship. So you may get your start by helping us sell our products, and then potentially that will inspire you and give you the skill set to go out and do the same in your own venture. All right, so please check us out. Again, the website is www.bvp.coffee. Every sale supports HBCU student scholarships. And collectively, we are working to raise over $1 million in scholarships for our community. So greatly appreciate your support in that mission. Please check us out. Please reach out if you are interested in any partnerships. And we hope that we will go further together. In fact, I know we will. All right, beautiful people. So we are at time today. Thank you all for tuning in. I am grateful. I am appreciative. We've got much more to cover in our future sessions. So I will actually be going live tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time to host Study Hall. So if you are interested in startup investing, if you are interested in being an owner in small businesses and technology companies that come from our own communities, I will be breaking down some concepts I cover in my book, The Ghetto VC. Study Hall is free, so make sure that you register at the link in my bio or scan this QR code, and we'll be going live breaking down the concepts. You can jump in, ask any questions, and if you subscribe to the Ghetto VC on my Substack, you will get a signed paperback shipped directly to your address. All right. So thank you all. Thank you all for tuning in. Peace.